Hello, hello. Welcome to my human design channel. My name is Juji. This is HD by Z. I'm so excited you're here. And if you're new, this is a space where I make videos mostly about celebrity couples, analyzing their charts. I talk about the human design system itself, and sometimes I interview people I've worked with in the past to get their perspective on their own human design journey. Today is going to be a little bit more serious than I normally get. This is a pretty lighthearted space where I like to chit chat about the various dynamics that certain celebrities have within their relationships. But something happened recently and it got me thinking. We recently learned that Twitch, most known for being the DJ on the Ellen DeGeneres show, but also for his amazing dancing skills on various different shows and movies, recently took his life, which was a shock to most people because he was very successful by anyone's definition. But this isn't the first time that something like this has happened. And so I started to do a little bit of digging, and I looked at the charts of Alexander McQueen, Anthony Bourdain, and also Kate Spade, who are all shocking revelations when they took their own lives. And what I found underneath it all was fascinating, because it always is. And like I say, human design is all about pattern recognition. But before we get into all of that, I want to remind all of you that I run an online community space for women who are all practicing their strategy and authority through the human design system. At its core, it's really a community where all of us can gather together and really be ourselves. That's the cornerstone of human design. It's about bringing awareness to who you really are and giving you permission to be that person. And that's what I'm here to support you with in the Beehive. We have weekly Zoom calls where we share our stories. I have guest speakers come talk to us, but it's always such an amazing discussion where we can really dig into how human design plays out in our everyday lives, because that's what it's really here for. It's for the mundane things in life, because it's all of the little things that compounded make life worth living. I also have all of my workshops archived for Beehive members to watch whenever they want, including my Conscious Connection workshop series, which is all about how we relate to one another. And I also have a Slack chat where you can constantly be in touch with me. You can message me directly. You can message the whole community and ask questions and share stuff. It's just so much fun, and I would love for you to join us. So the link to that will be in the show notes. And let's get right back into the program. So like I said, I found an interesting and almost surprising link between all of the people that I just mentioned who took their own lives prematurely. But before we look at their charts, I really want to talk about the fact that 2027 is right around the corner. I've made 2 videos about this. The links will be in the show notes as well. Because what we're experiencing as a humanity, the bigger picture of what we're talking about here is that we're experiencing a fundamental shift in the way we do things. And when things shift, it can get very uncomfortable. And the only thing that's here to help us is knowing ourselves and being able to trust ourselves, which is what human design is really here for. So even though somebody is successful, they make a lot of money, they're famous, they have a family, they have children, even though all of these things may be true, that doesn't necessarily insulate you from feeling sadness, from feeling lonely, from feeling any number of different things. And taking a look at these patterns definitely can help us understand the pathologies behind potentially taking our lives. But I also want to say that I don't want you to run home and look at everybody's chart that you know to see if they have what I'm talking about here, because that will somehow inevitably lead to suicide. That's not what I'm saying at all. It's just an interesting way to interpret the potentials of what people were suffering from that we wouldn't necessarily be able to see with the naked eye, because human design reveals what's underneath all of our pathologies and our behaviors. I also just want to say before we look at these charts that there might be something that we don't know about these people's health, financial situations, things that the public just doesn't have access to. So just keep that in mind as we look at these charts as well. Let's take a look at Twitch's chart first. So this is Twitch's chart. His real name is Stephen Boss, but for the purposes of this video, we'll call him Twitch. He was a manifesting generator, single definition, 3-5 profile on the right angle cross of service. Now, the thing that I really want to point out here is this channel of the 1858. Let's just take a note of that and keep going. So this is Alexander McQueen. He is a projector. He is splenic authority, split definition, 5-1 profile on the left angle cross of the plane. Looky here, we got the same channel, just pointing that out. We're going to keep going. All right, this is Anthony Bourdain. He's a manifesting generator. He's emotional authority, triple split definition, 1-3 profile on the right angle cross of service, again, like Twitch, with the channel 1858. And then last but not least, Kate Spade, who is a generator, a triple split definition, a 5-1 profile on the left angle cross of prevention. So she doesn't have the full channel, but she does have gate 18, which is the gate of correction, work on what has been spoiled, the vigilance and determination to uphold and defend basic and fundamental human rights. Okay, so you guys can see that there's a lot going on in each of these different charts. They're very different on a lot of different levels, single definition, triple split, split, different types, different profiles, but it's incredible that 3 out of the 4 people have the entire channel 1858 and 1 person has the gate 18. So what is this channel of judgment actually about? Well, the channel of judgment sounds like it would be about judging other people. And what I would say to that is yes and no. So I've talked about this before in some of my videos, but there's 3 different kinds of circuits in the human design system. There's the individual circuitry, which is all about you as an individual, and it's very mutative. Individuals are very unique beings and therefore tend to mutate the way that we see things. There's tribal circuitry, which is all about the family. It's all about the community. It's all about your tribe, right? So it's about your connections to other people and what the tribe needs, which usually is about support and material and things like that. And then there's the collective circuitry, which is all about the collective universal truth. And the channel of judgment is in this stream of the collective. So this isn't about judging people on an individual level. It's not even about judging communities or families or anything like that. It's about the universal judgment of what is not working and then course correcting, right? Because this channel is from the root, which is a motor. It's a powerful adrenal center, and it's going towards the spleen, which is all about our health. It's about survival. It's about our longevity, which is why it's interesting that the pattern that I saw emerge had to do with the spleen, because the spleen is about keeping us alive. So why did all of these people potentially feel that they needed to take their own lives when they have this splenic definition that's here to keep us safe? Well, potentially that judgment got turned in on themselves, right? What I saw in common with every single one of these people is not only this channel, but also that they either had a 5 or a 3 in their profiles, or both. The third line is a martyr. That's what the profile theme is. And when you're a martyr, you are here to learn through experiences, through trying different things, through making mistakes. And you can end up judging your own mistakes very harshly if you have this channel of judgment and you don't understand that this judgment is not about you. So this is just about awareness, right? It's really about bringing awareness to the fact that this isn't personal. You don't have to take it personally that you've led this trial and error life. And the other thing is the fifth line, which is the heretic. And the heretic, as a profile, gets projected on as the hero and the savior. And if you're a heretic who feels like you have failed in the projection that other people have put upon you, then again, it's easy to point that judgment in on yourself and say, oh, that projection field must have been wrong. But the thing about being a fifth line is that it's not about other people projecting their stuff onto you. It's about knowing who you are and not listening to what anyone else has to say, because they can't necessarily see you. They can only see you as a projection of what they want you to be. And that can be very painful. So this judgment of one's self based on these mistakes or based on other people's projections can end up leading to a kind of melancholy or a type of depression. And this is sort of an underlying theme of people who feel like they no longer want to be here, is they feel like the world would be better off without them. That is really the lowest place that you can go when it comes to your value as a human being, which for the two people in this grouping who are on the cross of service, Twitch and Anthony Bourdain, they might have felt like they were not being of service in the way that they would want to be, right? If you're on the cross of service and you don't feel like you're serving people, you might really start getting down on yourself, and no amount of fame or recognition or, money can make that feeling go away. And in fact, one of the dilemmas that I understand about having a certain amount of wealth or recognition is that when you get there, when you finally reach that level of success that you've been striving for and working towards your whole life, you feel like you should feel differently. And that can lead to a lot of guilt and, again, judgment. So feeling like you're judging yourself or feeling like other people are judging you, because why are you allowed to be sad if you're successful, if you have a family, if you're famous, if you make a lot of money? But those things don't solve the dilemma of who you are and what your soul's purpose is. So human design can bring awareness to all of these different things and help you understand why you're interpreting things the way that you are. It can show you why you're seeing yourself in this certain way or why other people see you a certain way. And it gives you permission that there's actually nothing wrong with you. If there was one thing that I could say to each of these people, that's what I would say to them. There's nothing wrong with you. You're perfect exactly as you are. All right, guys, I think that's a really good place to wrap this up. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a little bit more somber than usual, but I wanted to shine a spotlight onto this and also give you guys some idea of what might have gone on for these people. If you have any questions or comments, please put them below. I'm also going to be linking a suicide helpline below in case somebody you know is struggling or if you yourself are struggling. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask me personally about this, please feel free to email me hello@hdbyz.com. My door is always open, and you can also DM me at hdbyz. I'd love to chat with you. So thank you again so much for watching. Until next time, ciao for now.